Year 3 and welcome to Thursday's PE lesson. This is our third lesson this term to do with PE, and we are continuing on our topic of gymnastics. So really well done to every single person who sent in work from last week. A special shout out to Fiona, who produced an incredible video that she showed me from last week's lesson, including lots of different shapes in her routine, as well as jumping and beating her score each time. I was also really impressed. Make sure that you've got a camera handy. Ask mums, dads, or grandparents, whoever's around, to film or take some pictures of your PE lesson and send it into pe@grange.harrow.sch.uk so you can show me all your brilliant work, and I'll be sure to award class charts points and be included in our shout out video at the end of the week. So very well done to Fiona. First things first, really important that we have enough space ready for our PE lesson. So again, as you can see, I've got space around me. Again, you probably need one big step forwards, and again one big step back, and again same big step left and right as you'll be working in that kind of area. So if you do need to move some furniture, if you can with help, to make sure that you have enough space so you're all set for today's lesson. Once you've done that, also make sure that you are wearing appropriate clothing as well. So flexible, loose fitting clothing. I'm indoors today, so no need for trainers, but I've got socks on, I've got comfortable shorts and a nice loose fitting jumper. So make sure that you get yourself ready for the PE lesson. Press pause and make sure that you've got enough space and you're changed, ready for the activities. Off you go. Okay, I can all see that you're ready, you've got some space, you're in the right kit, so we are ready for our lesson. Some of you might have noticed that I have taken my socks off. The reason for that is it's hard, quite slippery floor where I am at the moment. I'm wearing socks. Doing the next activity is I might slip over, so I've just taken my socks off. I've checked there's nothing hard on the floor. I'm gonna stub my toes against anything. So I am ready for our warm-up. Now the first part of our warm-up today is to create and react as different animals. Now the 4 animals I want you to act as, and I'll show you a quick example in a moment, are kangaroos, frogs, bears, and snakes. Okay, so I'm going to show you an example of how you can act in those kind of movements for each of those animals, and I want you to pause the video and give it a go yourself. Again, you could mix between snakes and bears if you want to, but I'll show you a quick example of how each of those animals moves. So the first one, kangaroo. Nice and easy. Actually, I've got a little pocket here for my little baby Joey in there, but I'm going to look around, make sure I've got enough space, and I'm going to jump. Kangaroos. Hands in front. Lots of different directions. Forward, back, side and side. Kangaroo. Second animal was a frog. So I'm going to go down. I'm going to jump. Hands touching the floor. Each time, lie my head on the lampshade. Touch the floor. And there are my frog movements. Now, bear movements. This is slightly trickier. I'm going to go down on my hands and on my feet. Try and keep my bottom down a little bit. And move around. Lots of different directions. Like bears do. There's my bear and snake. You probably guessed it. On your tummies. Sliding around, slithering like a snake. It'll be slightly hard to change direction, but try out those animals. You've got kangaroos, frogs, bears and snakes, and try and change between a frog, then suddenly into a snake, then suddenly into a bear, then suddenly into a kangaroo. Take some pictures or a video of that as well to show me your warm-ups. Give that a go, and I'll see you back here in 2 minutes. Well done for that warm-up. We should all be a little bit warmer now. Our heart's beating a little bit faster and our muscles ready for the main activity. So this is a gymnastics lesson similar to last week, and we're going to be using some of the holds and some of the positions that we learned back in week 1. And they were the dish shape, the front support shape, the arch shape, and the Japana shape, or front straddle shape. So if you need to, refer back to week 1's activities just to remind yourselves of those 4 shapes, because we're going to build on those and introduce 4 new shapes today as well to use in our routine. So the first new shape today that I'm going to show you is called the lever shape. Okay, so we've got a lever and then we've got a half lever as well. So I'll show you both the lever shape and the half lever. So get sit yourselves on your bottoms. Make sure you've got enough space, lower yourself down to your back, and you're just going to bring your legs up as high as you can, keeping them in a right angle. So if that's your body, your legs come up and create a right angle. Keep your toes pointed and your knees nice and straight. And lower them back down gently. That is your full lever. This is your half lever shape. Hands above your head. One leg up, leg straight, toes pointed. So right angle, probably come a little bit more. And then leg down. And then repeat with your other leg. Knees straight, nice and slow, toes pointed. If you can, your leg that's on the floor, if you can bring that up a little bit off the ground. Your stomach might just shake a little bit, really tense your stomach muscles, and then lower them back down. So that is your lever and half lever shapes. If you want a bit of an extra challenge, don't wait to give these 2 ideas a go, these 2 shapes a go. And this is something that Fiona introduced in last week's video, and then we're going to introduce the crab shape and also the suspended pike. Now I'm going to show you these 2 as an extra bit of a challenge. I'm going to try my hardest to show you. Hopefully you'll get the idea. It's not perfect, but I want you to give it a go. Try as best as you can to get a bit better than my version. So this is the crab shape. I'm sure lots of you have seen this before. Again, on your backs and feet flat on the floor. You're going to bring your hands beside your head, either side of your head, palms on the floor. Okay, facing away from you. Knees bent, and you're going to raise your tummy off the floor and try and arch your back. Okay, can't quite get my head off the floor, but give it a go. Okay, hold that for 3 seconds. That's your crab shape and your suspended pike. So suspended means a little bit in the air. This one's really tricky. So a pike shape, nice and simple. Sitting on your bottoms, legs straight out in front, toes pointed, and your back nice and straight. That's a pike. A suspended pike, you're going to bring your bottom and your legs off the floor a little bit. So I want you to put your palms, hands, either side of your bottom, flat on the floor. Bring your feet off the ground a little bit, so you're leaning back a little bit, and then you're going to try and push off the floor, straighten those elbows so your bottom's a little bit off the floor. Okay. If you're not too confident in this, then don't worry about trying this one. These are an extra little challenge. So off the floor. So as you can see, it is quite tricky. My bottom was only about that far off the floor. Let's give it a go. That is really tricky. Tense those stomach muscles, so try those too. If you're feeling like an extra challenge. But the first 2 shapes, really important to implement those 2 were I can't remember what they were. Final extra challenge shapes was the crab and the suspended pike. First 2 shapes was the lever and the half lever. Pause the video, give those a go, as well as including the 4 shapes from week 1, which was the Japana, the front support, arch, and the dish shape. Off you go. So well done for all of you that tried those different shapes, especially those extra 2 challenge shapes of the crab and suspended pike. challenge question that I'm going to ask today. I'm going to give you the answer in next week's lesson. The question for today is, what is the word we use when we move from one shape to another shape? That is called a... So think about that. Remind yourselves from a few weeks ago. What is the name of the movement that we use between shapes when we move from one shape to another? We call that a smooth blank. Email me your answers to pe@grange.harrow.sch.uk and I'll be sure to announce some of the winners of that question in next week's video.